Today, we're introducing a case that still haunts the public for many years: the mysterious death of Lan Kier. The case took place in Los Angeles in 2013. The mysterious death of a Chinese girl in a hotel has caused heated discussions all over the world. This girl is Lan Kier. She was born in 1991 and is a Chinese Canadian. His parents are immigrants from Hong Kong who moved to Canada in the 1990s to work in the restaurant industry in Vancouver. Lan Kier graduated from a high school there and then attended the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, majoring in psychology. Her classmates described her as cheerful and friendly, but a subsequent solo trip to the United States brought the young girl's life to a sudden end. Back to January 2013, it was the coldest time in North America. Lan Kier, a 21-year-old girl who was still in college in Vancouver, decided to travel to California alone. Her parents didn't agree with such an idea because, after all, she is a girl, so traveling abroad alone is not always reassuring. However, due to her daughter's insistence, her parents agreed, but on the condition that she has to talk to her parents on the phone every day. So she left Canada and came to the United States. She took the intercity bus heading all the way south and posted pictures of herself on social networks, which seemed to be a pleasant trip for her. She arrived in Los Angeles on January 26. 2 days later, she checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Cecil Hotel is no ordinary hotel. It was built in 1927 and has 14 floors with more than 600 rooms. Due to its location in the downtown area, it was mainly for business people when it opened to service in the early 1920s. However, in the 1930s, it gradually became a gathering place for gangsters. In 1947, the famous case occurred there. In that case, the killer killed and dismembered an American actress, Elizabeth Short, and threw the pieces on the roadside. The victim was last seen at the Cecil Hotel. In addition, the Cecil Hotel witnessed many suicide incidents in its building. It can be said that it has various dark histories and is known as the Death Hotel. Today, the hotel is still open and has turned into a low-budget hotel, kind of like a youth hostel, allowing some people to share a room so that they can stay at a lower price. Because of the low price, Lan Kier chose the Cecil Hotel on January 28 and stayed in a shared room on the 5th floor with another stranger. But soon, her roommate complained that Lan Kier had some strange behavior, which was really unbearable. So 2 days later, Lan Kier moved to a single room on the 14th floor to live alone. She has always kept her parents' promises and talked to them on the phone every day. However, on January 31, her parents did not get her call. According to the original plan, Lan Kier will leave the Cecil Hotel for Santa Cruz. However, the parents suddenly lost contact with her that day. Far away in Vancouver, the parents were extremely anxious, and they felt that something wrong must have happened. So they called the Los Angeles police, hoping they could help find their daughter. Los Angeles police sent officers to the Cecil Hotel after receiving the report. They searched Lan Kier's room, but found nothing. The police then began searching the building with the dogs, including the roof of the building, but still no trace of her. The police then searched around the hotel and arrived at a nearby bookstore. The bookstore manager told police she had seen Lan Kier come to buy books. She is outgoing, lively, and friendly. The manager then told the police that she appeared to be buying some books to take home as gifts because he heard her talking about what books to carry and whether books would be too heavy to carry around when traveling. On February 6, it had been a week since Lan Kier disappeared. Los Angeles police decided to post Lan Kier's photo near the hotel and posted the information online. More than a week later, on February 15, the Los Angeles police released a surveillance video of a hotel elevator. This 4-minute video makes the news of Lan Kier's disappearance spread on major social networks and went viral within several days of its release. On February 1, it can be seen from the picture that after entering the elevator, Lan Kier approached the elevator panel with a slightly exaggerated posture and then pressed the buttons of all floors from top to bottom. At this time, you can see that the elevator door is closed a little, but immediately retracts again. Then, Lan Kier slowly came to the elevator entrance, quickly stretched out her head, and then quickly retracted back. It is very confusing that the elevator door should have closed long ago, but it did not. At this time, Lan Kier hid in the dead corner of the elevator, and then she walked out of the elevator again. Then, Lan Kier made a series of strange actions. She stretched her hands, swaying up and down, which made people feel creepy. Then she snapped her fingers again and disappeared from the surveillance. 15 seconds later, the elevator doors then closed and normal operation resumed. The video spread overnight on social media and caused panic. Lan Kier's weird actions can only be seen in horror movies, but all this happened in reality. Many people explained her behavior. It seems like she was hiding from someone, and that person kept pressing the button outside the elevator, so the elevator door never closed. Some people think that when she first entered the elevator, her expression was quite normal, and there was no obvious panic showing on her. She might not avoid someone, but rather, she was expecting someone to enter the elevator. For a while, there were many opinions and heated discussions. According to a Canadian television report, Lan Kier's 12-year friend said that Lan Kier is completely different from her usual self from the elevator surveillance. This Cecil Hotel is filled with all kinds of weird people, and drugs are rampant in the area, so Lan Kier's friend suspected that Lan Kier was drugged to behave that way. Someone who claimed to be Lan Kier's friend posted a postcard online that Lan Kier sent him. The postcard has Lan Kier's signature and strange words, such as "This creeps me out" and "pilgrimage," making the case even more confusing. Because of this case, the Cecil Hotel where Lan Kier lived has also attracted widespread attention. A large number of tourists visited the Cecil Hotel, and there was a sudden increase in the number of visitors, causing its room service price to rise. More local Chinese citizens personally went to the scene to collect evidence and conduct private investigations, hoping to unravel the supernatural legends that have spread wildly on the internet. On the morning of February 19, a guest at the Cecil Hotel complained to the hotel that the water pressure in the room was too low and there was a smell in the water. So the hotel sent people to repair the water tank built on the roof. The repairman opened the lid of the water tank and found a dead body, which scared the shit out of him. They called the police, and the police rushed to the scene immediately. Upon investigation, they found a naked female body inside the water tank, head down and feet up, her body abnormally twisted. There is still 2/3 of the water in the tank. Since the body sank at the bottom of the water tank, it was very difficult to get it up, so more than 20 firefighters were sent to cut open the side of the water tank with a chainsaw to recover the body. She is found to be Lan Kier, the Chinese-Canadian girl who has been missing for more than half a month. Some clothing similar to what was seen in the surveillance footage floated in the water tank, and her watch and room keys were also found there. On February 21, the coroner in Los Angeles released preliminary autopsy findings. Lan Kier's death was caused by accidental drowning, and the date of death was February 1. That is to say, from February 1 to February 19, when the body was found, people in the Cecil Hotel drank corpse-contaminated water for half a month. The body has become swollen after being soaked in water, and no obvious trauma or signs of sexual assault were found on her body. The full autopsy report was not released until June, 4 months later. This complete report has a total of 27 pages, and it can be seen that there are many drugs remaining in Lan Kier's body, such as lamotrigine, quetiapine, and venlafaxine. Those are drugs for the treatment of bipolar disorder or depression, and Lan Kier may have a more severe bipolar disorder. Police believe that may be the reason for the accidental drowning of Lan Kier. The conclusion of accidental drowning death given by the police has once again caused a heated discussion among people. However, there are too many doubts about the case, and many people believe that Lan Kier died of homicide. In the 4-minute surveillance video released by the police, the time shown in the lower left corner has been processed, so it is very blurry to see the specific time. Some people compared the normal running timeline with the timeline in the video, and found that the timeline in the published video was edited, and the speed of some pictures was slowed down. So why the Los Angeles police did this has aroused people's doubts. The place where Lan Kier died was the water tank on the roof of the hotel, but this was not the place ordinary people could just go up to. Through the field survey, some found that there are 3 passages to reach the top of the building. The first is through the fire stairs. There are 3 stairs like this, but it is difficult for a girl to reach the top of the building through such a ladder. The second passage is a locked door, but the door keys are kept by hotel staff. The third one is only for the hotel staff. This one has an alarm that will be triggered whenever someone passes through. It can be seen that if Lan Kier wants to reach the top of the building alone without being discovered, she needs to be very familiar with the staff passage, which is quite difficult. So it's more likely that someone familiar with the passage took her upstairs. The large circular water tank on the roof is 3 meters high and 1.37 meters wide. It can store 3,000 liters of water. Assuming that Lan Kier was able to reach the top of the building without being found, then how did she climb up this big water tank? On the side of the water tank, there is a ladder leading to the tank. She might have climbed it up by taking advantage of the wall and railings, but for a girl, it is difficult and dangerous. Assuming that Lan Kier overcame various difficulties and came to the water tank alone, then the next step is for her to remove the lid of the water tank, which is too heavy for her. If Lan Kier committed suicide or accidentally fell into the water tank, so how could she close the lid after she fell into the tank? We just mentioned that the police released a full autopsy report in June 2013, which was also made available to everyone. When some experts read the report, they also raised doubts. For example, the report did not directly state the results of rape and fingerprint identification, nor did it explain how some of the identification processes were carried out. Reports showed signs of blood under the skin on her lower body, which was likely a sign of sexual assault. However, some experts pointed out that this sign can also appear during body decay and swelling. It is worth noting that the conclusions given in the original report were inconclusive. Here it can be seen that there are 5 options for the cause of death on the report: natural death, suicide, homicide, accidental death, and unable to determine. Among them, the accidental death was ticked on June 15, but 3 days later, the box for unable to determine was ticked. At this point, the final release date, the full autopsy report, is only 3 days away, and it can be seen that the police themselves are also hesitant over the cause of death. Because of all those factors, everyone is unconvinced by the police report till today. Maybe time will tell the truth someday. This is Horror Mysteries. Enjoy and subscribe to know more mysteries around the world.